Welcome to Arise Entertainment 360. I'm Shannon LaNier.
And I'm Keturah King, live from New York. We're here with your 360 look at entertainment, arts, and culture.
That's right, and we have an exciting show for you today. We start off with best-selling author Nicole Jones, and she's helping executives find their fierce.
Ooh, and then we sit down with Jake Allen, star on BT's hit series, The Quad. He didn't give us any spoilers, but he sure was entertaining.
That's right. And finally, Chef Lawrence Page heats it up on set talking about his new reality TV show, Hustle and Soul on WeTV.
All that and so much more when Arise 360 returns after this short break. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Arise 360. Now, everyone is looking to generate multiple streams of income. I know I am.
That is right.
And our first guest is here because she's an expert at helping people take their brilliance and turn it into bucks at the bank.
And who don't like that?
Amen.
Best-selling author and professor Nicole Jones is here to help you transmute your fierceness into finance.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us. You look absolutely gorgeous in blue there.
Well, I'm trying to keep up.
Ooh, honey, you superseded me.
right. So we have to talk about your other favorite color, green, because you specialize in taking people's fierceness and taking it to the bank. What exactly do you do, and what qualifies you to do it?
So really what I do is help people take their intellectual property to the bank. What's interesting is people don't realize that people will pay you more for what you know than what you do. And oftentimes we discount our greatness, meaning that because it's easy for you, you think, oh, well, doesn't everybody know how to do this? But what you forget is that no one can do it like you.
Yeah.
And so it's really helping you understand that how you can package that into multiple ways to serve people that need you.
I love that. And you're currently on a Find Your Fierce tour. What exactly does that mean, and what can attendees expect when they walk through the door?
Love that you asked me that. So Fierce, of course, is a play off of Beyonce. So Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
So when Beyonce's standing on stage, she's standing in the full power of her gift. She's being the very thing she's meant to be. She's doing it unapologetically. So my goal is every person that I have the privilege to work with is that I show you how to stand in the full power of your gift and get paid for it.
Now, does that matter what gift you have? Because a lot of people say, oh, no one will pay me for what I do.
And what if you don't know what your gift is?
That's
Good
true.
question. So first, yes, I teach you what your gift is. So your intellectual property, we all have it. So whether you are a coach, a speaker, an author, a accountant, a lawyer, it's taking your know-how and understanding how to move that model from a one-on-one to a one-to-many. What most people do is only serve one-on-one, meaning that you have to be present. So what I want to do is teach you how to make money while you sleep.
Oh,
So,
okay. Who doesn't like making money while you sleep? Free money, basically.
Well, not free money, right? Because what money is free?
some work.
Right. So really, it's understanding that you can definitely, like for instance, I'm here with you now. Someone's watching one of my online programs and I'm not present. So how do we take your know-how, your intellectual property, and package it in ways that you don't have to be present to move that person's life or business forward?
But do you basically say, okay, what do I know the most about? And that is what your intellectual property can be marketed towards?
Yes, so you have to understand that your intellectual property is a need that someone's looking for. So you fill a void for someone, whether it's, again, family, business, whatever that might be. So once you're clear on what is the problem you solve, it's then packaging it to solve it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
So I know quite a lot of courses that promise to help you turn your passion into your portfolio or even your passion into your paycheck. What makes your tour different?
So what my tour, how it's different is many people don't realize, number one, that you are the answer. You are the answer that someone wants, needs, and will pay for. So really, I always say it's not about you. It's about the people that need you.
Right.
So how do we help you become the answer to that group? So that's number one. So it's really understanding the promise that's inside of you that moves to profit. Does that make sense?
The promise that's inside of you that
Are we
moves to
in an
profit.
interview or in church? I feel it in my bones.
Preaching up in here. Okay, so what are the first steps? You say find out what you're most knowledgeable about. Then what should someone do in order to get ready to turn this
So
passion to
I'll
profit?
give you my 4-step fierce framework.
Okay.
Okay. So number one is, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you love doing that you can do on hours upon hours and you never ever look to get paid for it.
Okay.
So that's one. Second is, what are you proficient in? So what are you really, really great at? So your passion and your proficiency has to correlate, because you've got to be good at it to get paid for it, but you also want to love it. Third is, what problem does it solve? Again, because ultimately it's not about you, it's about the people that you will be serving through that intellectual property. And then 4 is, you guys want to guess? How you get paid.
All right.
I thought she was going to make us sign up to her store in order to get the answer. I was going to say, that is a good tactic.
Yeah. I would have been there too.
That is amazing. Now, you serve, your main clientele, I should say, is almost kind of women executives. Do you feel that, or are you serving them because they're so underrepresented in corporate America?
Well, most women executives are building somebody else's billion-dollar brand, and they don't realize that there's a billion-dollar brand in them.
Wow.
And so my goal is to help them understand how they can produce their own paycheck. So whether you're already an entrepreneur or you're a wannabe-preneur, it's really helping you move that intellectual property forward. And so, fellas, I don't leave you out, but I will say 90% of the people that I serve are women.
Well, I know a lot of people make the mistake of moving into that entrepreneurship mindset a little too soon, and they jump out of that paid CEO job or whatever that's paying the bills, and then they're flat out and it doesn't work out. How do you know when it's the right time to become a full-time entrepreneur and leave that day-to-day job?
Or to just stay as an intrapreneur and stay within the company?
And I love this question. I tell people, don't quit your day job. Don't quit. You don't want to quit until you're making the same or more. My goal for you before you quit, because
but it's hard to make the same when you're so dedicated to working the 9 to 5 and you're so invested in the daily job.
You spend other time sleeping. You spend other time going to watch movies.
This is why I teach people how to make money while you sleep. So in other words, if you package your brilliance into ways that are online, where I'm here with you now. Someone is right now going through one of my online programs and I'm not present. So how do we take that brilliance in you and package it in ways so you can build your business alongside your 9 to 5?
Wow, okay.
She's got it figured out.
Honestly. So what advice do you have for female executives that are watching this program right now and wondering how to turn their passion into their paycheck?
So number one, get clear on what you're passionate about and what you're really great at, right? Oftentimes that's the thing that the CEO of your company keeps pulling you in on special assignments. Again, there's a billion-dollar brand in you. So instead of building their billion-dollar brand, let's begin to build yours. So that's one. Second, do not quit your job. Let's build it alongside. So third is be confident about that gift in you. Many women that I talk to throughout the country second guess their brilliance. So that's why I call it your fierce, because you've got to stand confident in it, unapologetic in it. So it's really those 3 things.
So I know I've asked about how to find or determine what your purpose or your gift is, but for those that really honestly have no idea what that might be, because it's very easy to say, oh, I'm a lawyer or I'm an accountant or whatever, but that might not be your purpose. That might not be your gift.
Or your passion.
Or your passion, exactly.
Right.
It might just be a paycheck. So how then do you exactly, I know it's not something that we can maybe answer in one session, but how do you find out exactly what your calling is, the thing that you would do for free?
I would say it's the thing that the majority of your friends, coworkers are coming to you for, and you light up. You love talking about it, and they keep coming to you for it. It's that water cooler chat, that let me pick your brain chat, that you've been doing for free.
I like that.
That's it.
You should be packaging that and then getting paid for it.
Amazing. So I should be a therapist then, because everybody comes to me with their problems.
Yes.
Or something close to it.
I ain't got time to be hearing that.
Or something close to it. Right.
Oh, fantastic. So what's next for you then?
So next for me is just serving more people, getting out there, actually being able to do things like this so people know I exist, so that I can help them move their businesses forward.
I need the book. When's the book coming?
So it's already out, findyourfiercebook.com. You go get it.
With the neck roll as well. She's like, find your fierce book.
Well, you can't say fierce, and I wrote it a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so we can get that now online. And can we go to the same place to sign up for the workshop?
So it's findyourfiercetour.com.
And where are some of the places you're heading next?
So New York.
Okay.
And then Atlanta, Boston, Chicago,
Plans
Arizona.
to take this global?
Yes, of course, always.
And I think it would be journalistic of us if we just come to one of the workshops here in New York and make sure everything's on the up and up.
Yes, indeed, and also get some of those fabulous 4 tips.
Now they said it on TV, so that means they have to come now, y'all.
Right.
They said it.
I'm there.
You're my witness.
I am there. I would definitely love to come.
Live and direct. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Thank you for doing the great work you're doing, and keep your fierceness.
Yes, I will.
All right.
I promise that.
All right. Thank you for joining me.
We have got a lot more still to come on Arise Entertainment 360. Stick around.
We'll be right back.
to Rise Entertainment 360. Now, school is back in session on BET with their hit series, The Quad, which is now in season 2. And you can catch all the excitement every Tuesday night at 10 p.m.
That's right. Here to break down all the drama on the show is actor Jake Allen. Welcome to Rise 360.
Welcome.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
How are you, Jake?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here in New York.
Wow, fantastic. Now, you have to tell us all about your character, Bojan Folsom,
Yes.
on The Quad.
Yes.
Dish.
Bojan is a fish out of water here at this HBCU, obviously. He is a small-town Texas kid, and he was a big high school football recruit.
Right.
And he lost all of his big, SEC-type big football scholarships because he got in this big fight with his high school coach. And Eva Fletcher, president of Georgia A&M University, played by the wonderful Anika Noni Rose, kind of takes a chance on this kid to see if he can revamp this struggling football program. And so...
And
Bojan, he's working on it. He's doing his best, I can promise you that. But as many freshmen in college, it's not a perfect road.
Yeah. Well, here in the U.S., it's usually the shoe on the other foot where a lot of the African-American students go to all-white colleges, but you're at a HBCU, which means historically black college and university.
I don't know that there are any all-white colleges.
Okay,
right.
Predominantly white college, you're right.
Right.
But this time, your character is going to a predominantly black school. So how was that experience for you
It's
in this
It's been amazingly educational because of that. There aren't that many stories like this.
Yes.
And so for me, I barely knew what HBCUs were before when I first read the pilot. On the title page, it had some statistics about HBCUs, and I was like, hold on, before page 1, I had to go Google something, you know what I mean, to figure out what exactly all these HBCUs were and how a bunch of them were actually in Atlanta where we shoot and things like that. So for me, I've just been learning alongside with Bo, which is really cool for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned having to Google some of these terms and some of these HBCUs. What other sort of research did you have to undergo to get you ready for this role?
At the beginning, I didn't do that much because my character was this small-town kid that had been in this little, tiny Texas football bubble, you know what I mean? Because he was that kid, I didn't want to do much research. But then with season 2, which is the second semester, and he's been at school for a while, I tried to do the opposite and visit other HBCUs in Atlanta and around Georgia and things like that. And my roommate on the show, this guy here, Miles Stroder, he actually went to Morehouse. So I like to say he's kind of my HBCU guru.
Right. He knows all about that experience.
Exactly.
Well, at least you know about the football experience, because is it true you got a full ride to college yourself on a football scholarship?
I played football at Cornell University.
Oh, okay, not to brag or anything. I went to Cornell University and I also got a scholarship.
For a year, all right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So is this like reliving your college days and be back on the field?
It's a little different. But now, you know what the beautiful thing is? One, I get paid. Which is
Right.
nice. So technically I'm a professional football player.
True.
I'm just saying,
like the way
let's
you
just
say
say.
it.
And I don't have to take the vicious hits because I get a stunt double when we do some of the bigger stuff.
That's
so
perfect.
my mom is like, you never should have played football. You should have just been acting your whole life.
All right, Mom.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
she's behind it for sure.
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
What has this acting journey been like for you? For someone whose mother is clearly incredibly proud of the path that he's chosen to take, how have you found it?
It's been really interesting because I actually found acting kind of via football. When football was coming to an end for me at the end of college, I knew I was going to have a big void in my life with this entertainment part, the shining part that I love about football, playing in front of a crowd and all of that stuff, and the competitive part as well, to be honest. And when I started acting, I started to realize I got the same feeling right before doing a scene that I got right before a game. And so once I really started to feel that and feel the same type of butterflies and excitement, I knew that acting was for me.
Oh,
for sure.
wow.
Well, you've been making sort of like home movies with your brother, even growing up, your brother Connor, and you're still working together now. What was that like, working with him then and working with him now?
It was cool. I was when I was a kid, I was basically the ultimate stunt man. I thought it was cool. I thought he was giving me like a cool job, like to be the stunt guy in his movies. But then I realized that I just was the guy that he wanted to push out of a tree or like stab with fake knives.
And this is your
stuff.
older
like,
brother?
My older brother.
Yeah, elder kids.
So he tricked me. You know, he's still tricking me to this day. But it was definitely a little more exciting to make. I made a movie with him last year called Overexposed, and to work with him on that level was pretty exciting. And the movie was a small town thriller set in Oklahoma. So the difference between shooting this very small rural movie in Oklahoma and The Quad, which is this this great big BET show. We have huge football numbers, huge band numbers. In the episode tonight, there's a big band competition. These huge setups, and so to have both in my life is really cool.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So would you say you have your brother to thank for your career as an actor now?
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started acting, it was going on to his sets and just watching and getting inspired and seeing what I wanted to do within the industry. I knew I liked movies, I liked TV, all that, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a writer or maybe I wanted to follow in his footsteps and be a director. But once I really started to go on his sets and things like that, and get behind the whole process of it all.
You're like, I want to be famous.
Yeah, basically.
But you are
How can I get into these situations with
Exactly.
cool pictures of myself in the background,
But you are doing more writing. You did Forsaken. You
Yes,
just did that. You
I am a
co-wrote
writer
that.
as well,
So you're getting some more dabbling in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You think you're going to do any directing as well?
We'll see. I can barely master my own parts, so I don't know if I can handle everybody else's character too.
Right, that's a lot.
So on the subject of being a writer and director, who would you say your dream collaboration is?
Ooh, I love probably Taylor Sheridan and or Ryan Coogler. Both of those guys. Yeah,
man
when
of
Fruitvale
the
Station
moment.
came
Right.
out. Yeah, but even before with Fruitvale Station, when I saw that movie.
See, this
I
is
was,
how
oh my
you know
God.
that he knows
Yeah.
his stuff. Because
knows
I'm
his
like,
stuff.
what? Wow.
You haven't seen?
No, I mean,
We need to leave.
Don't
we need to
ask
go
me.
there.
All right, now let's go. It was an indie hit. It was underground.
Yeah.
Not as many people saw it, but it got
Yeah.
rave reviews, critically acclaimed, and that one of the things is savaged his relationship with Michael B. Jordan and them
course.
doing all their projects
Yeah.
together
I
because
think
of
they
that.
made a movie kind of recently that did all
Really?
right.
Oh, what was
I
that
can't remember
called?
the name.
Could it,
movie.
was it the one that was set in what
Black Panther, maybe?
Wakanda?
Forever. Go ahead. Get in, Jake. Get in. Wakanda. Forever.
Okay, Jake, so what's next for you?
I mean, to be honest, right now I'm enjoying watching the show come out every Tuesday night with everyone.
Are you involved in the
kind of a-
live tweeting and everything?
Oh, always. I love the response that we get, especially with all the social issues that we bring up.
Yes.
It's fun when you get the fun responses and things like that, and the fun gifs and the memes and all that stuff. But I think even more so when someone says like, the storyline about sexual assault in season 1 that we went into, when people were really affected by that, like seeing that on Twitter is it's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, because a lot of people just think it's supposed to be surface, it's football, it's college, but when you guys are dealing with, rape on a college campus and really issues that are going on in society today, how do you deal with those things and how do you address them on social media?
I mean, I think just trying to be, at least within the show, it's trying to be as truthful as possible, and that's why some of the stuff is surface, because that's college.
Yeah.
In college, you're going to parties, you're hooking up, you're getting into trouble, you're figuring life out and things like that, and you're having fun. But at the same time, at college right now, they're like, sexual misconduct is an absolute epidemic. You know what I mean?
You recently just had I can't remember his name, but the guy who was sent to jail whilst in college for raping a girl. And recently the girl has just come out to say that it was all a lie, it was all fictitious.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
so these are real life issues.
And in the first season, they definitely tried to honor those type of things by creating a storyline that was a bit of a who did it type, who is always at fault, is the man always at fault, is this or that,
But it was done so tastefully and so
great
respectfully.
writers.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. And I want to end on a happy note, so
Yeah.
a little more light. Since you learned a lot while on the show, talk to us about some of the things you learned about urban or black culture while you've been there. So maybe slang words.
You are trying to make this man put his foot in there.
No, come on. You
I
had
would
to
say
learn
the
some
top-
fun stuff.
the
Or even
top
some
two-
dances, something.
Probably the top two terms I learned were bet.
Bet? You
That's a bet.
Bet.
That's
Yeah,
Didn't know what that meant.
Bet, man. Yeah.
And now it's really just caught on, period. But
Yeah.
when we were first doing
Please don't say
when we were
lit.
first doing when we were first doing the pilot of Fire.
Oh, that's
Like,
that's fire,
That's fire.
yeah.
When we were first doing the pilot, that was not really a big
You were like, where's the
term.
fire?
And I was like,
What's going
where?
on?
I'm fired? I'm off the show? You know what I mean? I thought I was getting fired every day.
But now you say it with such conviction.
Say
it's
it, go
like,
on,
it's
Jake,
fine.
go on.
Yeah, I mean, that's fire.
That's fire!
You guys are fire.
You
We're
are!
fire.
Yes!
continue to be fire on the
right.
show. You guys make sure you check it out tonight on BET and every Tuesday on BET 10 p.m. It is an amazing show.
It's fire.
And please tell Nicole on the Rose I said hello.
I'll put in the word. I'll put in the
And
word.
while Shannon's schmoozing, don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360.
All right.
Welcome back to Arise 360. Now, this weekend is the 33rd annual Stellar Awards, celebrating some of gospel music's greatest musicians, hosted by Kirk Franklin. And I'm sure the show will not disappoint.
That is right. Take a look at this rewind segment with Corinne Hawthorne, who's performing this weekend and nominated for 2, count that, not 1, but 2 Stellar Awards.
She's a Louisiana-born beauty who burst onto the scene at the tender age of 17, just a baby. And she was a contestant on Season 8 of NBC's The Voice.
That's right, and her stellar voice has echoed through the churches and the stages. And now she joins us here in studio. Welcome to the show, Corinne Hawthorne.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Let's talk about these Fulani braids.
All right.
First and foremost.
All right now.
We're keeping it very African here on set. I like it, I love it.
Listen, ma'am.
Honey,
Come on with that dress.
Honey.
Wakanda forever, baby.
Forever.
Yes.
Gotta get that in every show, right? Well, we also, besides the beautiful hairdo, we also have to talk about your journey on The Voice. We all fell in love with you from the show. Take us back to that moment when you were chosen to be on the show and what that experience was like.
Such an amazing experience. I've been singing ever since I was 7 years old, so I liked watching reality TV shows like X Factor, American Idol, so auditioning for The Voice, because I had auditioned for other things prior, getting that yes was like everything to me, because I just was like, listen, I've been working for this for a long time. I prayed, I was like, Jesus, you can't be playing with my emotions. And, you know, so when I finally made it through just the first round, I just was super excited and ready for the journey. It was an amazing journey.
Oh, wow. Now, you were talking about how you felt making it through the first round, but you actually made it to the final 4.
Yeah, it was a long journey.
Right. I mean, so close to the end. And you're on Pharrell's team. Pharrell is a musical genius. What was it like, and how instrumental was he in developing your own sound?
I think Pharrell was incredible. I think I've always been super open about my belief and my faith in God. And the very first time we even spoke, he was like, we have to do gospel. So I just thought it was incredible that he just seen that in me and was just so open to it. So it wasn't really that much that he can tell me about singing, because Pharrell's not a singer, you know, producer. So the thing for him, like with him, was, of course, you know, he has his little production things throughout the thing, but he just encouraged me to be myself and to never change. So he was incredible. I mean, the most down-to-earth person anybody will ever meet, I think. He was incredible.
But you were saying, like, be yourself, but you were only 17. Like, did you even know who you were at that moment, and like, and how that was going to, you know, carry through to your music?
That journey prepared me for that. Like, going through the whole motions, like before I had auditioned for American Idol and sung a gospel song and they told me no. So
The Lord ain't in them.
so yeah, no, like when I went to The Voice, they were just so open and accepting. And even Pharrell, like, he asked me questions all day just about God, because he grew up Pentecostal, so it was cool. But I think through the journey I learned, like, about who I was. I always sung songs, even on The Voice, that meant something to me. And that was the thing with him, like, we're never gonna sing nothing that you can't feel. So just through the journey, like now, like, I'm very comfortable with, I guess, talking about how I feel, and yeah, it helped, I think.
That's amazing. Now, speaking of this fantastic journey that you've been on, you released your self-titled EP last summer via RCA Inspiration.
Yes.
How did that feel, seeing the fruits of your labor come to fruition?
It felt really good. I think that was my first project, working, like going in the studio, actually writing. I stepped into my artistry, because I was like a cover artist before. So for me, it was just like new beginnings. Like, I was just starting, you know.
Born again.
I was born again, okay? And I don't know, like, it just felt incredible. And to be a part of such a great team, shout out to RCA Inspiration. They're so incredible and been so supportive. Like, ever since we were in the studio, ever since we released the EP, they just expected great things. And it's happening. So yeah,
And there's some great collaborations on the album too. Talk about some of those.
Yeah, so Warren Campbell produced my EP, Grammy Award-winning Warren Campbell.
Right, from Mary Mary,
She's like, let me just, in case you don't know,
didn't know,
Grammy Award winning.
Yes, he's married to Erica Campbell, so that's, you know, the Marys. They're incredible. Shout out to them. But yeah, Warren Campbell, Bernie Herms, Aaron Lindsay, just such amazing talents coming together on this EP. So it was incredible.
That's so phenomenal. Now, you're known as an inspirational musician. What's the difference between being an inspirational musician and being a gospel singer or a gospel musician?
I don't, honestly, there isn't a difference. I think that people try to separate the two. Like, I think in gospel, because of what people has done, they have made it, put limits and kind of put gospel in a box. So for me, honestly, like, I am a gospel artist. I'm signed to a gospel label, but I just go by inspirational because I'm not about to be put in a box. Like, I'm not about to just have one specific sound. You know, like, I love everything. Like, if you watch me on The Voice, I sung so many different kinds of songs, and that's just who I am. I love all kinds of music. So for me, even when we wrote this EP, it just was, we need to give something to everybody. It doesn't matter if you go to church every Sunday. You don't got to speak in tongues every day.
Absolutely.
Like,
and you don't even have to go to church.
You don't even have to go to church. That's
You
what
should
I'm
be
saying.
singing to people that believe in God.
Right. So it's just, honestly, it's music for everybody. Like, I wanted to make something that anybody can hear and go like, wow, like, I relate to that. Like, so yeah, I guess for me, that's the difference. But yeah.
Now, you talked about how you were singing since the age of 7. So take us back to, you know, the inspiration behind your music, because I know your mother was very inspirational in getting your music,
great.
but your father's incarceration also helped inspire a lot of your music. Talk to us about that.
Well, honestly, my dad's side of the family, they're full of singers. So I get singing and music from my dad. My dad was in jail whenever I was born. So honestly, music has always just been a part of me. I say I started performing when I was 7, but I've been singing ever since I can remember. But honestly, music has kind of, I don't know, I never really thought about my dad's incarceration, but I'm pretty sure it helped, I guess, with that whole process. That kept me busy, that kept me motivated. So yeah, but the music side comes from him. So now he's like, well, shout out to him because he's not in jail anymore.
Amen.
Amen. Honestly, gave his life over to the Lord.
Yes,
Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great.
That is phenomenal. Now, speaking of great and stellar things.
Okay, girl.
All right, transition. This month, you'll be performing at the Stellar Awards, March 30th, to be precise.
Girl.
How you feel?
I feel good, feeling great. I mean, last year I was my first time at the Stellars. I presented, and I'm nominated for the award that I presented last year, which was Best New Artist.
That's amazing.
So just going back to the team, RCA, it was my first time, and they were just so supportive. I hadn't had any music put out yet, and they were just like, Corinne, you're gonna be here next year. You're gonna be performing. Yeah, so we all worked
it into existence.
Spoken, and we all worked really hard for this moment. So honestly, it's not just about me. Like, I'm doing that for them, and of course God, because we give everything back to Him. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited, girl.
Won't He do it?
Yes, He will.
Yes. Speaking of won't He do it, your single is climbing to the charts. Can you give folks at home just a little taste of it? I'll put you on the spot. Did you warm up in the green room? Like,
won't He do it? He said He would. He'll fight your battles for you. They gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Come on, Snap. It was on.
I'm feeling it.
Yes. So won't He do it? Oh, we did this song for Greenleaf, the TV show on Oprah Winfrey Network. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. But we did this song for the soundtrack. I never ever thought about the song going past the soundtrack, or even I got to perform it on an episode in season 2. So I never thought about the song going past that, but they released it as a single, and it's #1 right now. So
oh my
God is just doing the thing. I know that Won't He Do It is honestly like my life testimony. I honestly give everything back to Him. I trust Him with everything. So just the fact that it's inspiring people all over the world it's incredible to me. So won't He do it?
Won't He do it? Oh, I'm so inspired.
Come on,
I feel
girl.
like I should become a musician now.
Yes.
I feel like you also need a good voice in order to do that.
yeah, a little small factor there.
But tell me what is next for you. So you've had an incredible journey so far. Started at the age of 7, if not before. What are we looking forward to?
I don't know. Whatever God has. I'm not even trying to be cliche, but I honestly only want the path that He has for me. And it's just like the opportunities, they're limitless. Like, I wouldn't imagine I would have been nominated for 2 Stellars or go #1 or get the opportunity to be on Greenleaf. So it's just like you never know what could happen. But definitely Greenleaf season 3, I'll be back. If y'all watch the show, y'all, it get juicy. So y'all gotta watch.
Okay, we're
on season 3, of course, touring an album later this year.
All right, later this year.
So,
Any ideas as to what you're going to name it?
I don't know yet, girl. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
I
love it.
Maybe be in the sequel of that too while you're at it.
Listen,
Go ahead and claim it.
won't he do it in
Go ahead and claim
Jesus'
it.
name?
She got the hair, she got the voice. She ready.
Y'all might as well have me. I'm ready.
Well, when you do the movie, come back and tell us all about it.
Listen, I will be back here.
Okay.
I will be back here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And make sure you check her out on the Stellar Awards on March 30th. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys.
And we'll be right back with more Rise 360. That was awesome.
Yes.
Welcome back to Rise 360. Now, soul food is based on traditions and recipes that are passed down from generation to generation.
And our next guest may be an Alabama native, but he's bringing that flavor to Brooklyn through a little bit of hustle and a whole lot of soul. Chef Lawrence Page, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. How you guys doing?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Good. Thank you.
Now we have to talk about the premiere party that we attended yesterday in your honor. Because the food was sensational, and that's what you do best.
Yes, I do. I love to cook, and I'm glad you guys got the experience, what we do, and, besides the alcohol, the food, sucked it up a lot,
Exactly.
It was amazing.
And that's one of the great things about the Pink Teacup. Your restaurant, everyone raves about the food. They keep going there. How did you get started as a chef?
My mom.
Ah.
Yeah. My mom taught me the game, but I didn't know I was going to become a chef. This, is something that I didn't do, but I just bought the Pink Teacup. It's been around since 1954. So when I fired my original chef, who was cooking for them, I just said, you know what? I got to learn how to cook.
Ah.
So I just called mom and says, look, I fired my chef. I need to learn how to cook. I need to get in the kitchen.
Wow.
And that's how it started. And then from there, Anna, who's my child's mother that's in the show with me, she started pushing me with the culinary background thing, culinary experience, and started teaching me and telling me to read this and go look at this and try this and try that. And so it just helped me a little bit with food and experience different things,
See, that's the love of a good woman.
Yeah.
She makes you better.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, we all know that the Pink Teacup was a well-frequented restaurant in the West Village in New York.
Yes.
You bought it and then moved it to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How
well,
come?
actually, I bought it and moved it around Manhattan a few times before I went to Brooklyn, and I kept failing with it. It was already failing when I bought it. It was out of business, so I lost a lot of millions behind it, trying to keep it going because then it was an institution. So, but when it failed on 6th and 14th Street, that was my last time in Manhattan. Then I moved it to Brooklyn because I tried Manhattan, we had a good run. I says, all right, let me just try my luck in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn accepted it, and it just graced it, and it just blew up from there.
And one of the quotes in your show was, you said you were talking about moving it to Brooklyn and speaking about the fact that you're a visionary. You knew Brooklyn was going to explode, so you moved it there.
That's right.
Clearly you did it at the right time because now you have lines going out the door and round the block.
That's right. That was right before the Barclays Center opened, too.
Yeah.
So I was watching the trend. So I moved with trends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, the current trend is your show on WE TV, Hustle and Soul. It is hot like fire. Tell us more about the show.
Like Louisiana hot sauce.
Well, say it again.
Oh.
See? Now, for those that have been living under a rock, break it down for them. Tell them a little bit more about the show.
Hustle and Soul is a reality show. You know what? I hate the word reality, but the people in my show, who actually worked for me, some of them, I can't tell you who's there and who's not anymore. You have to watch season 2. But, restaurant business is the toughest field in the world, and it's a revolving door.
Yes.
So you constantly got a lot of people going in and out all the time. So I'm constantly managing a lot of different people's lives that come through that door. And sometimes they become your family. And sometimes, a guy like me, it's that I'm not with the tough love thing. It's hard for me just to tell you just to leave and you're fired and that's it. I like to give you chance after chance after chance after chance because I feel like people need chances because of all the things that's happened in their lives. Late for work, okay, I get it. Dog died, I get it. You know what I mean? Things like that. So.
But sometimes it ends to your own detriment where they're going to start taking advantage of you,
well,
too.
That's what baby mama came in and says, look, I'm putting my foot down this year because I'm tired of people running over you and you being weak when it comes to these women. You know what I mean? But I'm like, put the brakes on. Just take it easy.
I'm going to have to jump in here and ask you, why do you have so women in your employ?
Say that again. I want to make sure I hear that question right.
Get the question right.
There's literally only 2 other men, and they're twins. They come as a package deal.
But yeah.
And you say it yourself, the fact that you love the ladies. Why are there so many females there?
Because women you guys are very smart and strong, right? You know what I mean? So I like to.
That's true.
I like to surround myself with women because they get the job done. There's no egos. You know what I mean? You tell them like, look, this is what I need, and the only thing that I'm fighting with is that. Wait a minute, this is all women. You didn't look at that part. They're all battling each other for attention and who's going to do this and who's going to do that. And so I didn't realize that, but I knew I can get the job done. We don't have a problem getting the job done. We just have a problem with the arguing, fighting back and forth. And I think I can balance that, and I've been working on it, and it's working. But it's not reality, it's real for us. So when people watch my show, they look at it like, the first season was hot, and the second season, they're like, wait a minute. How can it be hotter than the first season? Because it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody tries to compare my show with Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? They always say, like, this is the new Love and Hip Hop. And I'm like, I don't want to be compared to Love and Hip Hop because I'm a real chef. I have a real restaurant. I make real money. I have a new restaurant in Miami opening. You know what I mean? So to us, it was all about, taking hospitality as a black chef to the next level, letting people respect what soul food is and how I can, just force and tell people, like, look, soul food is one of those things where you can put your 5-inch or 6-inch heels on and your red bottoms and go to dinner. That's one of the things that I'm pushing with Southern food. So it's working. Besides the drama. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of that drama in first season was created by a lot of the women in the restaurant getting you into trouble. Are you blaming yourself this season? What's going on this season?
He sighed. He had to take a pause. He was like, ooh.
I knew that was coming, right? I mean, you had it on the show, so we had to ask. Look.
I'm praying. And it's gotten better. Me and my, Anna on the show, my child's mother, we're in a better place than we was last year. You know what I mean? She, I'm trying to get back. I think I got back on the couch. She didn't really put me out. I think I put myself out because
she was about to put you out.
Exactly. So I decided
But we're finding that place right now that I'm a lot better. I'm not gonna lie.
Love takes work.
I love women. But now I'm better now. Now I'm trying to love one woman.
Good.
Amen.
And it's not easy being a successful man surrounded by all these women like that, and they're single. Yeah, I'm like, but.
Well, I'm just going to take up for Anna because, like you said at the very beginning of this interview, this is a woman that effectively made you the man that you are today.
Yes.
So you better love and honor, respect, and cherish her, sir.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that right now. Yes, and that's what I'm doing right now. I can't make excuses up for what I've done, and I try to tell everybody else, some of the women in my show, like, look, because I'm nice to you, you're taking it too far, and it's making me look bad now. Because I'm trying to expand as a chef, and keep opening up pink teacups all around the world.
Wow.
But if you guys are going to work with me, respect my relationship, and don't cross that line, even when you see me at my weakest moment. Don't cross the line with me.
It's important.
And that's hard,
Yeah.
Have you been in that situation before?
Yeah. I think we all have. Look. But that's good that you set the boundaries because it's up to you to make sure that they respect the boundaries because you teach people how to treat you.
Well,
so as long as you
That's right. That's right.
Down,
That's right.
I had no trouble.
That's right.
With the most.
That's right.
Yes.
See, but my food's so good, they look at me like, damn.
Now, speaking
He can cook.
speaking of how well you can cook. Okay. All right.
Oh, it's getting hot up in here.
I mean, terrible. Absolutely terrible, you two. But speaking of how well you can cook, you were on the quest to garner the coveted Michelin star when you first opened this restaurant.
Yes.
Have you achieved that, and what steps do you think are necessary in order to get the first soul food Michelin star?
I can get the Michelin star. That's why we're going to Miami right now. So this season is about me expanding to Miami and who's going to be able to help me, take that to the next level to be able to open up Pink Teacup on South Beach.
Wow.
So now,
That's a big deal.
yeah, we have the restaurant now. So now it's like, okay, you know, it's a $4 million build out, you know, so now it's like, guys, we went from 30 seats to 300 seats.
Wow.
So who wants to come with us to help us not only get the Michelin star, but try to, you know, work towards that? I mean, the Michelin star is not really the goal anymore. You know, I mean, I think the goal right now is like really, like I said earlier, to push Southern food to the next level, but do it in a beautiful setting. But at the same time, what I have now in South Beach will get you the Michelin star, because you got to have the look, you got to have the feel, you got to have the, you know, the quality, you know, and it's beautiful. So Michelin star is all about perfection and beauty. You know what I mean?
So who are some of the people that are helping you get there?
Kind of like yourself.
Trying to win the points back.
You'll win those points when I'll watch the next season, I'll see how well you treat Anna, and then you win those points.
Tell us quickly about the people that are helping you get to that point of opening up this new restaurant, because this gets confusing. Who got fired, who didn't get fired, who's going to the next one?
I could tell you that the same staff from last year, they're there this year, but, you know, because it was the pressure and the heat, some people didn't make it, and it broke my heart, because I carried them, you know, for a long, long time. You know what I mean? I mean, the pressure of being on TV and the fame now, and the restaurant business, and so it's like a lot of people are breaking down. They can't continue to, you know, run with me. But I can tell you that it's going to break America's heart.
Oh,
I can't tell you that. You know what I mean? America's going to be like, I can't believe this. Like, why, you know, the non-loyalty is just bad.
Wow.
You know, it's bad, and I think that's where we mess up as a people. I mean, we all family, and we all go through things and argue and fight, and that's why Hustle and Soul is such a great show. You know what I mean? But the thing is that, you know, there's loyalty. You have to understand that word. You know what I mean? Like, besides all us, like, put all that away for a second.
Yeah.
Like last night, the premiere party, it was great. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of, you know, shade going on between the cast members, you know what I mean? But loyalty brought us together, and I think that's what it's about.
That's amazing.
So this year, Hustle and Soul is just going to be like, I think it's probably one of the best reality shows ever made.
I mean, I was watching a few episodes last night, and I was like, what? How did I never hear about this show? I'm the reality show queen. So
really?
Loves it.
I'm heading straight home to binge watch every episode that I've missed.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you, honey.
Oh, honey, tell me.
Yes, bitch. Because, you know, we were talking about that earlier, and how, like, does all this really go down? Is it really that much drama in one
And, like,
restaurant?
how do you separate your own reality from reality TV?
That's the key, and that's the hard part. And people ask me that all the time, like, how do you do that? And I tell them that do trial and error. It's hard. You just got to figure it out and just keep, you know, learning from your mistakes. And when fans come up to you or people talk to you about your cooking, or they say, look, I'm not coming to your restaurant because I don't like that fighting y'all doing there, and that's not right, and I will never support you as a black man.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, calm down. Let me tell my side of the story.
Right.
I come from here, I was homeless, I did this, I did that, so just work with me just a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a balance that you have to find, but you can't satisfy everybody, so I try to tell the people in my show, down to the twins, down to Thandi, you know, the girl with the red, that, you know, in the bathtub scene that America's talking about. So I tell everybody that, you know what, we have to find that balance in order to grow.
Yeah. But do you think that sometimes all the drama and the ratchetness gets overshadowing all the success that you have had in the journey that you had to make it to where you are today?
No. Because we done so well the first year when the show came out, it allowed us to make that money to open up a second restaurant in Miami. And after that, we're going to probably do one, I'm going to do a vegan soul in LA. You know what I mean? So all that drama.
I love that.
Yeah. It's just important. I want to do vegan soul food. So I'm going to take it to the next level.
Wow.
That is next level, because soul food is known for its reliance upon meat.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of people still want soul food, but but vegetarians like, I really want it because I grew up off it, but I can't eat it. So now I want to bring you vegan soul.
Wow.
I love that.
Vegan mac, vegan chicken. You know what I mean? Just take it to the next level.
I love that.
But to answer your question, no, the drama has not clouded the business and what I do. You know what I mean? I actually love the drama because it keeps me going.
Yeah.
I like to hear it because, you know, I like to fix people's lives, but when it gets too crazy, I'm not a Yalla vent, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I like to try to help fix their lives.
Exactly.
But that's what's getting me in trouble.
Oh, well. But before you go, we want to help get other people out of trouble. And just tell us a little bit about your journey when you were homeless, how you became homeless, and how you pulled yourself out. Because there may be people that are going through that.
Inspiration.
Yeah, but they aspire to be where you are. So tell us a little bit about that before we go.
From being homeless to a millionaire.
Yeah, it happened to me twice. You know what I mean? I lost $3.5 million, then I lost another $5-6 million, and I lost it with the pink teacup trying to get it going on its feet. You know what I mean? And then I just kept, you know, one thing about this restaurant business, it's a big dark hole. You can keep throwing money and money and money and money and money, and the next thing you know, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many employees and taxes, it just keeps, and you just keep trying to stay afloat. So what happened when I lost it, I lost my friends. You know, I was flying private, and you know what I mean, flying to LA all the time and putting like 13 or 14 people up in hotels. Like I was living that lifestyle that I always grew up seeing people live. So I said, I want to be like that. But when I lost it all, I just found myself like sleeping in a car.
Wow.
I found myself crashing out on people's couch. And my mother, she's like, you can always come back home. You're not homeless. I'm like, bye-bye.
I don't want to fail.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and she had, you know, she was living with my stepdad at the time, and the house is really tiny, so there was no room for me, you know? So I just said, well, I'm gonna keep praying. But I didn't give up. And I made it again, and I lost it again.
Wow.
You know, and I believe that, I think that's when I found God. You know what I mean, at that time, because I said, why am I keep winning and losing? You know what I mean? So I had to learn from my lessons. So I really, when they said you have to learn from your mistakes, I really started thinking about that.
Yeah.
So this year and last year, I haven't made any mistakes except for with the woman. I'm working on that part.
All right.
I'm working on that part.
Lord help him.
But look,
Lord,
if I bought them the condos, my name is still on it. So I can always sell it.
Well, man, you got some collateral.
On that note.
Chef Lawrence, thank you so much for coming in. You got to make sure y'all check him out.
You're
Hustle and
hilarious.
Soul.
Hustle and Soul, TV Thursday nights.
All right, check him out.
night.
10 p.m.
All right,
You guys
there you
are
have
amazing.
it. Thank you, and so are you, and so is your food. Check him out at the
Thank
Pink Teacup
Pink Teacup
as
Brooklyn,
well.
y'all.
Yes.
And we'll be right
from
back
Miami.
with more Rise Entertainment 360.
Thank you, sir. That was great. That was fun.
You guys are so silly. Look, men ganging up against women.
Well, that does it for us here at Rise Entertainment 360. I'm Shannon LaNier.
And I'm Keturah King. Have a great weekend.
Peace.